My name is Dr. Erin Heery, and I'm a social psychologist at Western University. I study psychology because I think the research questions social psychologists ask are among the most interesting questions in the world. You? What sparks your interest? I'd like to tell you a little bit about the kinds of questions you could answer if you came to the Western's psychology program. If development is your interest, you could ask questions about both the cognitive and the social underpinnings of how we develop and grow. If your interest is cognitive, you could ask questions about how people learn and how people remember and forget and how people make decisions about important things like where to go to university and what to study when you get there. If you're interested in clinical psychology, you could ask questions about how to intervene for people who develop mental illness, or how to predict who might develop a mental illness so that you can intervene more quickly. If you're interested in social psychology like mine, you could study things like who becomes a leader and how and why, or how people make relationship decisions like who to date and when to break up with someone. If your interest is in neuroscience, you could ask questions about the neural architecture that underpins life, from questions that we all face every day, like how to move about the world and how to interact with objects, up through very complicated questions like how to visualize thoughts so that we can allow people, for example, who are in comatose or locked in states to communicate with the world outside. These are small examples of the questions that you could ask if you came to Western and studied psychology with us. There are many more. Here at Western, we want all of our students to have a chance to study what they love. So we've developed a range of programs that are both flexible enough to allow students the choice of what they study, as well as providing them with the skills and experiences they need to succeed in wherever they choose to go next. For students interested in entering the workforce directly, many of those students pursue a major in psychology, which gives them access to jobs in human resources, in education, in data analytics, and in a variety of other domains. For students interested in achieving additional education after they graduate, for example, master's degrees, PhDs, medical or legal degrees, many of our students pursue an honor specialization degree, which provides additional training and additional experiences in highly specialized domains. For students who wish to do something else as their major, you can always enhance your training by taking psychology minor. What types of classes do we offer? A huge variety of classes, both in terms of content and in terms of what we teach. I'd like to introduce you to one of those classes, which is a really specialized class we offer, which allows students to go out into the community and apply their skills working with community organizations. This group of students worked on a project at City Studio London.
My City Studio project is focused on creating tools and performances for anti-discrimination in the City of London. Students have chosen to focus on 4 areas or 4 forms of discrimination, so xenophobia, racism, ableism, and saneism. As part of the project, we actually have 2 classes working together to deliver this to our volunteers.
I feel like both Leora and I have been building up to the moment when our students meet and begin to make art, community-facing work, community-facing art, for a while.
Students gave individual presentations in the first semester, and they were thinking about topics pertaining to their specific ism, but what became very clear as the class talked is these processes could be applied to all the isms. Right, so it dawned on all of us.
When I met my students in January, I was worried they were going to be like, oh my gosh, what have we signed up for? People seem pretty into it, and now that we've met, I feel like relationships are starting to gel, and students, I hope they're starting to get a sense of the stakes involved.
Something that I see every day in my work as part of the community diversity inclusion strategy is intergroup contact. So folks that don't usually interact with each other, having the ability to interact with each other and kind of learn about their experiences and themselves. It is something that the students also have found through their research, so it's kind of interesting to see that they're learning something that is actually happening.
The students are talking together, we're talking together. It's more animated, the conversations are more intense.
I never thought a theater class would be interested in an anti-discrimination kind of topic. For here, it is actually working, so it's going pretty good.
But what do our students think? I'm going to ask two of them to tell you about the experiences they most enjoyed taking classes in Western Psychology Department.
So I was lucky that I took advantage of both research opportunities and course opportunities here at Western. So in terms of research, I actually started in third year doing some RA jobs. So I was a research assistant in 2 different labs. One was a clinical lab and one was a social psychology lab. And that gave me the basics to understand how research works and also to find out what I found interesting, which also prepared me for my 4th year thesis, which I'm working on right now. Another thing that I enjoyed in my university experience was taking the Community Engaged Learning course. It's a seminar-style full-year course, so it's 1 whole credit, in which you have supervisors within an organization that you're volunteering at, and you get to lead a community-engaged research project with a group of students. And it's just a really great way to learn how research actually applies to psychology and to the community as a whole.
Hi, my name is Bianca Sherheron, and I'm your Psychology Department representative for this year on Social Science Student Council. I'm in my 2nd year, and I'm doing a double major between psychology and political science. My favorite course so far is Applications of Psychology. So you take everything you learned in 1st year, and you're applying those theories to the real world. So for me, I don't entirely know what I want to do with psychology yet, but if you are someone who does, that's amazing. And Western has so many specific courses for you to take if you're going to do that. So if you know you want to go into neurosci, there are many courses for you to choose from along that path. So between your residence softs, your faculty softs, academic counseling, the psychology undergrad website, and both the science and social science student council, you have a lot of resources to actually get the guidance you need to figure out where you're going to go. I wish you all the very best when deciding where you want to go, and I hope you choose Western because you will love it as much as I do. Bye!
Maybe you'd like to build your professional network. If you do, our faculty have links to a number of professional organizations and institutes that can help you make those connections. For example, you might be interested in medicine, or research with humans or non-humans. Maybe you're interested in business and moving in that direction, or perhaps you're thinking about a policy career and making change at either the local, provincial, or national level. Maybe you're interested in philosophy and any number of other things. If you are, Western can help you make those connections. We also want our students to build rich social connections and to thrive in other ways. Our students have a chance to publish in our very own undergraduate psychology journal. They join the WPA and the Students' Council. They join Psychology Club and Active Minds and a variety of other clubs that suit their interests and help them enrich their university career. Western Psychology program is ranked amongst the top 5 Canadian undergraduate programs. And that's partly because our research innovation is amazing. And that's partly because we have a great reputation for teaching, and our student services are excellent. The university itself offers excellent financial aid packages, and according to the Globe and Mail, Western itself gets straight A's in terms of student satisfaction, teaching, resources, and campus atmosphere. So why should you study psychology at Western? Because it's an amazing program located on a fantastic campus in a nice town. Western is a world-class institution that does quite a lot to support its students. Western has many internationally recognized scholars, along with a 95.2% employment rate after graduation. On behalf of all of the faculty in psychology and the university generally, we are looking forward to welcoming you to campus this fall.